keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for? That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy.
We can't let it stop us.
Take it down!
aids it.
Prepared? Give me a break.
Spoke of the tower. What must be done with it?
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. Routing our network.
Please help me!
Constraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Ourea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
One of those?
It's the only way! Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Manukai!
Ourea's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Ourea's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
Good. I can use this.
All of my interactions with Ourea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Ourea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Ourea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow. He explained that I would need to be suspended it was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communication. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an...
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me.
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries. I focused on my work. In off cycles, it was Ourea who renewed me, repaired me.
You meant a lot to Ourea.
Once I understood her, she felt disconnected from her. Our visits seemed to help, yet I did not comprehend, although I do fear
I'm sure she knew you would do this. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it. I will do what I can to help. I believe this will lead to catharsis.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not...
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, eager to make contact, I was flooded with an
Ourea said you were desperate.
Yes. I couldn't... It succeeded. But after that, I could offer only... It forced me to follow its instruction.
I'm sorry. That sounds...
Your empathy is greatly appreciated.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that it was she who arranged to have me.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. 19 years ago, she destroyed herself to try to contain them.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills...
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are...
Yes, we all hunt machines.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure.
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that if a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, a better solution would be to when I think of it, out there I feel substantial and...
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself.
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain.
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were the ability to signal them. It would have been gratifying to correspond.
Believe me, Cyan. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like Twilight and Evening Bell. And after that, and may there be no sadness of farewell for though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes... But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal.
How'd you do?
She said, I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite.
So in the old world, this land was called...
Yes, it was a desert.
Like a hunting ground?
No, unfortunately, from my readings, and
A lot has changed in the world. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source. It was later after my task. These provided me with.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines.
Yes, a drone. He was a strong advocate from Chief Blevins spent increased. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms. And there were in order for my process. As a result, my
Seems strange to...
human society.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct, but before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as...
Guessing they wound up regret... And... Elizabeth Sobek.
Are you referring to the...
The scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. My creator was influenced by her work. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know? What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues, or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. The recovery was successful, though rationally speaking.
What kind of upheaval?
There were many facts, but these stemmed...
So...
Yes. Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while.
Yes. These Firebreak was one I would have liked to compare. We had succeeded. It seems my assessment.
I should get going.
Aloy, I have no desire to contradict their view of the world. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly.
You have to tell them you were made by the old ones. That you're not any kind of spirit.
I see. Do you believe that I
No.
She perished,
Maybe.
I see. I will Will you return and tell me about your... I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that. I should check on Aratak.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might...
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
She was willing to fight. She wouldn't let anything stop her.
She was Banuk until the end. I was wrong. The Carja never broke her, only made her stronger.
So it wasn't your failure. It was her decision.
They always said I had an unshakable will. But Araya's was the mountain I could only aspire to. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cult?
Yes, Fire Claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. We won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.